And we're live. We are live. We're crooked. I need tech support.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to be back. Oh, look, there's Chris.
Yes. We are so happy to be back.
Yeah, it's really good to be back. And we're going to do a lot more on the good morning, Debbie. We're going to do more with the journey, but I had to catch a breath. We had quite an intensive. The room is still recovering, so we had 10 people here and about 26 people online, and it was so much fun. And I'm in the either hangover or afterglow of the intensive. And so it's a beautiful day here in Santa Clarita. We had a lovely, lovely, lovely hike. We've been out. Oh, there's Henry. So I've been out with horses this morning, dogs, and cats. And I thought I would do some readings. But I wanted to, of course, hi, Henry. Oh, I think Henry wants his moment. Hold on. Hi. Oh, such a handsome guy. How could we not have a Henry moment, right? Here he is. So handsome. Absolutely full of beans this morning. Anyway, if you're new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, author, founder of Communication with All Life University, and I forgot TEDx speaker. So anyway, I have a school called Communication with All Life University, and we have programs for people to learn animal communication or to become an animal communicator, to learn energy healing or to become an energy healer. And we are going to be having a nature and wildlife part of the school. And we also offer acupressure through Jill and Joan with my business partner, Jill Todd, who's a veterinarian. And we're kind of trying to figure out right now whether we're going to do another intro to acupressure and meridian touch healing. So that's a question for people out there. And if you're watching this later, please type in the post. We would have it late May into June. And then also, we had, I always say that cups are like oracle cards, coffee cups. So we had Jane Wu here, who's from the town in China where the panda bear comes from. And she said that she's going to help get the school up in China. So I'm drinking out of my China cup. Not my China, but my China cup. So anyway, I think I'm sitting on my pen. We have AC Level 1 coming up in next Wednesday, the 28th, and we're still in the period where we have, where there's an early bird special. And I want to say, and maybe, I don't know if Durga's on, I can't see because I don't have my glasses on, but Chris went through it. Quite a few people that are here regularly are going through it or just coming out of it. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it because I feel like it's the gateway. Here's the thing about my school. You can do the once a week class in the beginning just to get started. And that integrates it into your daily life, right? Like I now have this time, maybe I've created space in my house. That's how the weekly, like the level 1 courses are. It's the gateway to kind of, here's this new world and I'm integrating it into my world. But when you do the intensive, it's like immersion. And one of the things I love about the big program is that you get both, right? You get that weekly, oh, I'm integrating this into my life, and full immersion with the 2 intensives. So anyway, that's that. AC Level 1 is 12 weeks. It's taught by several of my teachers, and I teach a few weeks. And it really, like, people get excited and they want to do more. But the truth is, if you just do, it lays the foundation for really good habits, for building that telepathic muscle, for creating trust, and eventually confidence. So that's it. Who's here? Wait, you muted me. I think because you're eating.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people on. 28 now. Everyone's still jumping on. We've got Debbie. Hi, Debbie. We've got Chris. We've got Claire Trust, Cindy Atwood.
Hello.
Victoria Lyons, Jane Wu.
Hi, Jane. Did you see that I have the China cup? This is, cheers. This is for us. And I got this in the Starbucks in Beijing, in the airport.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So cute. Leslie Williams, Debbie Hull says, I have a 13-and-a-half-old lab mix, buddy. I think it's time to help him transition, but want to be sure. Can you ask him? He's barely eating too.
Yeah, we'll get to readings in a moment. So will you tag that one? And
yes.
How long have you had him, and who else lives in the household? Okay.
Right.
Anyone else here?
Kaki Deka is here with us. Tanya
Hi,
Hofe.
Kaki.
Hey, Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
Hey.
We just, boy,
Joyce Lee, Leggett.
it's empty here, Kaki. Anyway. I always have I get really bummed when it's over. When I was an actress and a play was over, you know, you really mourned the play. I always mourn the 9-day intensive, everyone leaving and all of that. So that's why I didn't want to just jump full steam into doing the Where Are You on Your Journey. I just wanted to ease back into life.
It's so nice. Hey, Joan, everything works perfectly with you. Because as your marketing department, I was like, oh, panicked, we're not going to do this. And then as you talk, it just feels so right not to have done that and ease out of the intensive and just take a few days to settle back with the community and the tribe. It's just such perfect timing always, you know?
Yeah.
So happy that you said that.
Yeah.
Just so happy. Yeah, it's just perfect. So lots of people are commenting. Let's see. Oh my goodness. So Claire also wants you to check in with her when you do the readings. Check in with my beloved Cleo, a black and white cat. So Claire also, as Joan said, can you post how old she is and who you live with and just a few more details and we'll tag you.
Okay, who is the lab? Who was the woman that first said her lab?
The lab is Debbie Hull.
And how old? Can you read that again?
So 13.4-year-old lab mix, buddy. I think it's time to help him transition, but want to be sure. Can you ask him? He is barely eating too. And let me see if Debbie put in more information at the bottom. She said, we've had him since he was 5 months old. Oh. My husband Robert and our 2-year-old lab Taya that reincarnated from our black lab. I guess that's who lives with you now.
Okay, I'm gonna get quiet and talk to Buddy.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Debbie, Buddy said he's very close to being ready. It feels like he's it's not just the food, that he's also struggling with breathing, and it feels like he almost thought that he was going to go on his own. It feels like he was taking a lot of shallow breaths there at the end, at the what he thought was the very near end, and then something internally kind of rallied. I wouldn't say that it's like an entire rally, but there might be some foods that would interest him. If I mean, I think that again he was trying to go on his own. He also has a bit of a headache and feels very dehydrated. So maybe finding ways to hydrate him would bring more comfort. And he's just wanted you to know that he's very, very, very grateful. And I think that one of the reasons he hasn't gone yet is he feels that Robert has a very broken heart, and that for you, what you did for him, I don't think you know how much he appreciates it. He said that he had big helper energy. He had fun energy and funny energy, but he had big helper energy that really didn't come through until you. It feels like you really nurtured his ability to help, because it feels like he was not trapped in a trauma, or there was just an old way of being the first 5 months that you transformed for him and Robert. So anyway, he knows how brokenhearted everybody is, and he just really wanted you to know that. So that's that, and I'm sorry you're going through this right now. It's very hard.
Wow.
Okay. What was Claire has a cat?
Claire Trust, I'll tell you, let me go back up to her. Claire Trust, could you please check in with my beloved Cleo, a black and white cat who transitioned to spirit a few years back, and then further on she gives more details. Yeah, that's the same details she gives Claire. Yeah, that's about it, Claire.
Well, this is a wonderful, wonderful energy to have around when she's around. And she said, I'm not always around, but when I am, I'm still clever. It feels like there are times when you suspect it, and she's definitely right there. I feel like she was an energy that was very, in cat form, very crisp and clear, and yet had fairy energy, very of the earth, magical, and it feels like she's still being magical. And she also said that you have not completed some writing project you were supposed to write about. I don't know what that is, or anyway, that there was something when she left, that you were on trajectory to do, and just from an overseeing state of mind, she thinks you need to get going with it. And that's it. It feels like she was quite a motivator. Feels like she also had like almost, not a smirk, but she could look at the world like she could step in and fix it, or she could watch everybody wreck it. So it feels like she had a good sense of humor through all of it, but was very, very beautiful, beautiful soul. So that's it. Did we hear anything from Debbie?
Debbie Hull. No, I just texted her to let us know how that reading felt for her. Janet Barnhouse is another one. She says, how can I get a reading for my cat Oliver? He has bad gums, diabetes, and seizures. Please tell me if he has pain. He's about 10 years old.
So I don't feel like he has pain. What I do feel like is, I don't know if you've had the medication checked recently for the diabetes, but I feel like every now and then there are the spikes in blood sugar that seem like the spike and then the drop of energy. And it feels like that's just at bay. So it makes me wonder if you want to revisit the blood work. It feels like his gums don't, I mean, they bother him on the one hand, especially more in the right. I've always been a big fan of colloidal silver for cats because it's something you can get in the water, just because you don't want anything to be thinking along those lines, just because of, it feels like the infection, you don't want the infection running through his whole body. But he's quite funny, and he also, it feels like he says that he only has pain when he's a pin cushion. So I think he doesn't love the vet. But he said he's very strong and he has moments of being stoic, but you see this little guy. And so he really appreciates all the care and all the things you do for him. So, I mean, I would say overall with stuff going on, he's good. I just would wonder about maybe checking in on that blood work and making sure that the medication is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Abby, did you want to come up? Abby keeps coming and sitting here with me. Okay.
Debbie Hull got back to us to say thank you, Joan. We know he plans on coming back to us, but he and I have been soul connected since our eyes first locked together. And then she said, I felt very good about the reading. I've thought that he might want to go without assistance. He likes grilled burgers right now, so he gets those. We'll see if he'll drink some bone broth too. Robert is having a much harder time letting him go. Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Claire Trust says thank you, Joan. There's another reading here. If you'd like, just tell me if you want me to read it out.
Mm-hmm.
And Cindy Brosig, I would love some insight into helping my sweet mixed breed boy Ted, a 7-year-old male shepherd, chow, coonhound, corgi mix.
Wow. We need a picture.
Through cluster seizures. What can I do to help him heal? He lives with 3 other dogs, one of which also was diagnosed with seizures within a month of his diagnosis. I have tried everything I can. He is always restless, pacing after the seizures. He's my better half. Ted.
So, I feel like there's 3 or 4 components with this with Ted. First of all, emotionally, he knows he's your better half, and he feels very responsible. I mean, so responsible for everything that happens in the household, things that he has no control of outside in the world. It feels like he's very much needing to not control, but contain things. So one of the first things from an emotional standpoint would be considering letting him be off duty for certain times. Like just helping him get to a state of relaxation, because it feels like he doesn't even know what that would be like. And there's a part of him also that I feel like you know, it's hard to say what came first, the chicken or the egg. The right side of his head, and then into right behind the ear, the right neck, and the right shoulder. Again, this could have happened because of the seizures, or is part of what's creating the seizures. But it feels like that things like massage, T-touch, acupressure, all those sorts of things. I mean, you almost want to just... I would guess that if you were to touch the top of his head, the right side of his head would feel warmer than the left side, and all the way down to his shoulder. So I would be trying to create... I don't know if you do yoga, but you know how when you do a certain movement and then you come back to standing, you feel like an opening in your body. Like, I'd want to create a whole opening from this side of his head through to back behind his shoulder. And then the other thing is, I would look at really calming foods. What are, your greens, things like that, because I feel like he's you've got some high voltage dog breeds here, right? You've got the I have to take care of everything. I have to take care of everything. I have to take care of everything. But he takes it to a whole new level. And so you need the emotional reminder that he doesn't have to take on the world, the physical, literal physical, creating opening and relaxing and things like magnesium, all those things that calm muscles down and emotions. And then food, so that internally it's all working together. And, we can put Dr. Jill's information in there. You could get a private with her on acupressure. We have the acupressure class coming up. And I think also... that would be my first round on that. And I also think that whenever you have that much going on in the front end, that there's also a component in that hind end. So I'd really want to see you bringing, just kind of grounding him into his hind end, especially afterwards. And I was trying to feel into whether there's something that you could see. For me, I feel like right before the seizure, it feels like he gets very, very thirsty. It feels like there's things along his back that maybe almost like the hair stands up. And I would guess that you could see it coming with a few of those clues. So
that's so interesting because she just said, Joan, yes, I can feel the heat from his head, and he's always itching his right ear before seizures start.
Yeah, so I feel like big time anti-inflammatories, getting those muscles relaxed and those and just some space in there, like getting the inflammation down. And what's hard with seizures is that so often, they have that first one and it's caused by certain things, and then you see the continuing, they just keep injuring themselves, and so then it just makes it worse. But yeah.
There've been a lot of comments, actually. Quite a few people are experiencing seizures with their animals, so this is going to be amazing information for them as well.
Yeah, there's an acupressure point right behind so let me grab a dog. Delilah. Penelope, come. I need a demo dog now. Penelope. Hi. Okay, come here. Abby, good girl. All right, Delilah. Penelope. Where'd she go? Did I lose a dog? Penelope. Anyway, Delilah, come here. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Wait, come here. Penelope. All right. Penelope, come. Come here. What have you guys been doing? I don't, this isn't going to work. They are obviously up to something. Okay, Penelope, come here. Penelope, up, up. Up, up. Up, up. Come on. Penelope, up, up. Good girl. Okay. So literally, there's the back of her head. Here's the top of her head. And then right in there is the acupressure point that I've seen people work wonders on for, it's called bladder 10. So it's right under the occiput. And I would just, and you put like no pressure. Then the other one that's helpful is bladder 23, which is down along the back and really helps with the nerves. And see, so that, and then just, if you have heat on one side and no heat on the other, sometimes just stroking and imagining that you're redistributing the energy, because all the energy's stuck up there and you want a flow. And that's it. I hope that helps. Magnesium and, of course, Jill and Joan CBD would help. MSM, all your anti-inflammatories. Of course, my favorite, vitamin C, brings the circulation. So that's it. I hope that helps. Now I got a dog.
I'm sure that helps. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'll post some of the recommendations that you put in the chat, and we'll also post after the live for people that are also experiencing seizures with their animals. That's amazing, Joan. Thank you. And then Maria Aza, sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Hello, Joan.
Hello.
My Huey crossed over last Tuesday and I'm devastated. And she goes on to say, I'd love to hear from him to check in, that he's okay and in a beautiful place. Is he with my Milo, my Chow Shepherd mix who passed 5 years ago this June?
My sense is that Huey is very, very, very peaceful. The sense I get is that there was devastation all around, and that once there was the release of the body, there was this peace and beauty that there are no words to describe. And yes, Milo greeted him, and it feels like there are, I don't know if he's going through life lessons right now, but it just feels like he's checking in with you. He's all around. He feels that your grief is really big, but he wants you to know he's right there. He's right there all the time. And he's working through whatever he's supposed to be working through. That's the sense I get. And it feels like there are, I don't know if you had little bells or something that seem to mysteriously be ringing, or some sort of a little, keys, something chimey that he really just keeps trying to get your attention, because there's something that you associated with him with a sound. So, and it could even be maybe you've been hearing his collar, but anyway, he's trying to let you know he's right there.
So, it's like so emotional. Wow. Thinking of my Ruby.
I know.
So beautiful. Shannon O'Hearn says, hello, Joan. This is my first time here. My Chelsea has a problem with infection at the outside of the urinary tract. The usual meds have not completely resolved it. What can I do to help clear this? Is there an emotional aspect to this?
So, is Chelsea a cat or a dog?
Yes. Sharon, can you post and let us know? Let's see if she writes anything. Going back to the last reading with Maria Aza, she says, he used to whistle while he was excited. He was excited, he used to whistle.
That's so funny. While he's whistling.
Oh my God.
Whistling away.
Thank you, Joan. She says, you are a blessing.
Thank you.
Cindy says, I think, is this Cindy? Yes. Cindy says that an Aussie healer cross.
Okay.
No, sorry, I think I'm confused. It was Sharon.
Yeah, with Chelsea. Yeah, I wondered.
Sorry, no. Sharon, sorry, Sharon, here we go. Sorry, Joan, dog red healer mixed.
It's so interesting because Chelsea feels like she's a combination of a healer, like literally a healer, and a big love. And it's not that I would say that she's bossy. I would say she's intentional, and she's a little bit driven. But she also can chill. Feels like she's got a great energy. What I sense, as far as the infection goes, is that that she tends to worry, and that then you worry, and then you guys get into an infinity of worry. And so I think if you can back off some of the worry and, really do that big dose of antioxidants with, just build that immune system while she's on these meds. And of course, anti-inflammatories, because it feels like more than anything, it's a certain inflammation, not just inflammation like that it's not just infection, it's more inflammation that's causing a lot of this. That it's like one feeds the other. So with that worry energy, with that worry energy, that's what, I think the worry inflames the body, if that makes sense. But otherwise, she's a great dog. Great, great, great. Huge heart. So who had the Aussie Fueler cross? Who's that?
The Aussie cross was, I'm getting confused because the messages have disappeared. Let me see. So I think Cindy was saying that she's got an Aussie healer cross, she says. Then Sharon said she's got a dog red healer mixed. I don't know. I'm confused.
Okay.
I must say. Sharon says, this is her the last comment. Thank you so much. You are very accurate in reading us. That's awesome. Wow. So this was for the dog red healer mix Sharon has that you just read.
Yeah, that has that the meds aren't quite nailing the rest
exactly.
of it. Yeah. So anyway, maybe some tapping on worry. We have plenty of students that need their case studies. So if you're interested in that, I think let us know.
So I just wrote a comment. I'll post after this live is done. I'll post some notes about how to get in touch with Joan's students for further readings. There were a couple of questions about that and quite a few questions about the acupressure course. I'll post the link to that. Joan, do you have a tapping? We can post the link to the tapping video that you did a couple of weeks back for Worry, which is beautiful.
Oh, there's Corinne. She's in France, and she has more dogs than me. She's got a house full. Anyway, she just did the intensive. We're all in the Afterglow. All right, well, I think we're winding down. This was really fun. It was a great integration back into life. And we will pick back up next week with the Where Are You on Your Journey as the Animal Empath. And we'll throw some free readings in May, toward the end of May. And yes,
and also we'll go back and look at these comments. Maria says, thank you so much, Joan, and I would like to learn more about how to get started in learning how to communicate with animals. I'm a newbie at this, but would really like to learn more. So we'll post also some links for you, and also know that you can reach out to Shannon Myers. We'll post, she's on the call. She is one of Joan's angels and fairies that helps anyone come into Joan's courses, and she will understand your journey and where you are and help you pinpoint the right course for you. So I'll tag Shannon for you as well. She's just amazing. What a beautiful person.
Yeah, thank you. It was really fun to do this today. I'm really grateful to be back.
Yes.
And I'm still just drinking in the experience we had in the intensive. It was so wonderful. And I think that one of the blessings of COVID has been being able to do both. You know, I used to have like 30 people in my house, and I love, look, I love a good party. But what I think is that was perfect. That was the perfect blend that we've had the last two times. I'm exhausted in a different way, partly because I think I had to be like on in the room and on online, and my awareness that, it had to integrate was, on fire. And so that's a little bit of being tired, but we created some ground rules around that, and I think we're really going to perfect it, and I'm loving it. I'm loving being able to do both, to only have, I'm going to limit the amount of people that can come here physically, and and I'll also be traveling more, so I'll do, I know I'm going to do something online with Circles of Wisdom in September, actually in June. That will be online, but then June next year, we're already setting up for what that's going to look like in person. So, that will be a mini, that's always, when I do Circles of Wisdom outside of Boston, it's like a mini intensive. So there's going to be lots of ways to do it. I feel like the, 10 to 15 people in person and 10 to 15 people, or, we had 20 something online. That was great. We had a lot of online teachers, so everybody was really, really supported. So it was very fun. And yeah, I'm feeling so lucky, so grateful for this community, and so grateful to have done the intensive. We're ending the animal communication level 1 tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the last class. Then we start another one the following week. So I'm feeling very lucky, and blessed to have the teachers that I have, and the whole thing, and the marketing support, all the elves. Grateful for all the elves and for all of you. So thank you, and I will see you next week.